Hey, noble ones, welcome back to Metatron's Academy. Let's check out this channel. The channel I wanted to see with you today is called Goluremi. I have no idea languages. He has got 92.2 thousand subscribers, 160 videos, and his description here, I thought it was hilarious. You don't need Elon Musk's Neuralink to learn another language. I mean, fair. At Goluremi, you will find everything you need to speak your second, third, and 10th language. So I watched him react to a few people, and I thought his reacts were pretty decent, I have to say. Like the things he would add, the commentary that he was saying. So he's got all sorts of stuff. But he does consider himself to be a polyglot. And this is one word that, as you know, I'm always a little bit like, I don't know, is this a real thing or not? Because unfortunately, there are plenty of people that are really capable of speaking lots of different languages, so technically they would be polyglots, but then you've got people that pretend to be, and so this word is being misused so much that now you've got all of these people that just memorize a couple of sentences, I'm a polyglot, and then they don't know anything. And I'm here to check this guy out. I want to see if he actually does speak these languages or not. So, as you know, if he's good, I'll say it. If he's a fraud, I'll say it. I just tell it how it is. So, there's a video, and it's this one here. Still haven't clicked it. It says, Italian without Italy. How I learned Italian without going to Italy. Now, you know why this caught my attention? I'm like, I've got to record this. I've got to record my first impression. Because he says in Italiano. So since it's an 11 minutes and 55 seconds video, it is kind of difficult if he made the entire video in Italian to fake it. And I should be able to tell if this guy is legit or not.
Ciao ragazzi, bentornati e prima di tutto, questo non è clickbait, non ho mai vissuto in Italia. Ho passato forse 2 o 3 settimane in totale in Italia, ci vado normalmente per lavoro e resto 2 o 3 giorni. Allora, qual è il tuo lavoro? Forse sarebbe una buona idea.
Ok, he's legit.
Presentarti prima di parlare della tua vita.
Man, he's good. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh gosh, finally. Okay, now I have faith that the competence that we're going to continue watching this because this is actually fascinating. His accent is really good. I'm actually impressed. Goluremi, I'm so happy that this is not gonna be one of those negative videos because this guy. So we've got a lot of flags down here. A lot of flags. Italian appears to be legit. I'm gonna keep on watching a little bit. I'm a native speaker. I know exactly how to spot them. If he learned Italian like that without living in Italy, this is actually really impressive. I'll tell you why in a second. It's very natural. I'll tell you why in a second. English, of course, is his first language because he says American. I can check out his Spanish. I can't check his Nordic languages because I don't know anything. But I can see how he speaks French and how he speaks Spanish. I don't know any German. But so far, Italian, we are starting strong. We are starting strong. Let's go.
Ok, mi chiamo William Goluremi John e sono calciatore. Sono calciatore
Veramente.
professionista. Ho giocato in molti paesi. Negli Stati Uniti, in Croazia, in Serbia, Danimarca. Niente, ho anche questo.
Niente, oh my gosh, he's really natural. He sounds Italian. And you know me, I wouldn't say it if I don't think it. There is like very occasionally he says something that I'm like, I don't know if an Italian would, but already the fact that I say I don't know, it means could be the somewhat somewhere, depending on the region, since we have different ways of speaking. Man, he's good.
La mia società si chiama Goluremi perché goals.
His vowels are impressive. Perché how he closes his vowels when he said allora with a very closed O. This is something I'm gonna say it's extremely rare because here's the thing that many people don't know. This guy is awesome. I'm giving him a like immediately. One thing that many people don't know, most people in fact don't know about Italian, is that in its standard version and in a lot of regional varieties, Italian doesn't have 5 vowels, it has 7. It's heptavocalic, not pentavocalic. There are some pentavocalic regions or varieties, what we call I dialetti, so the dialects, although again, whether it's a dialect or a language, it's a matter for a different video. I suppose, but we will stick with Italian. We will stick with the Italian way of or classification, if you will. There are some regions that only use 5 vowels. There are lots of regions that use 7, and standard Italian uses 7. His Italian is heptavocalic. And he, in fact, seems to have mastered it to a point that he is doing better than some Italians with the choice of open and close.
Cose, media e bla bla bla. questo non è il tema del video. Il tema del video oggi è come imparare una lingua senza di andare nel paese.
Senza andare. So I wouldn't put the. That's the only grammar mistake he made up to this point. And then again, it's one of those things that even if you're an Italian who speaks a lot of English, you may end up making that mistake too. So it's not like a catastrophic mistake. It's just a small little thing. And I'm not saying it to, actually correct him because his Italian is phenomenal. In fact, it's because his Italian is phenomenal that I'm like, mate, remove that D and you're perfect.
Ci sono delle regole. Il mio metodo si chiama l'immersione artificiale, artificial immersion in inglese. Normalmente quando vedo questi tipi di video, la persona, per esempio, come imparare lo spagnolo in 30 giorni, ho imparato...
Yeah, occasionally with numbers, because it should be 30. I think he said 30. But this is nothing. Like, I'm being particular. I'm being very particular now, and I wouldn't be. Like, normally I would not correct him because he's like 98% is perfect, native-like. And the only reason I'm pointing out that there are like just a couple of things very occasional. But what's impressive is his accent, like his grammar, his fluency, vocabulary and word choice, very good. I want to listen to it a little more, but I'm going to tell you what I think he sounds like.
Il francese in 7 giorni, non lo so, qualcosa del genere. Normalmente fanno questo video in inglese.
Sì.
Non capisco, perché quello che vogliamo sapere è dopo 7 giorni o 30 giorni come l'hai fatto, come sei riuscito a parlare così buono.
Okay, so let me comment a little bit on his Italian very quickly. So once again, Goluremi, you are the man. I love your Italian, and it's so refreshing to hear a non-Italian, so an American in this case, to be able to speak it so well and reach such a high level. I'm very impressed. So when it comes to his accent, his general accent sounds a little Tuscan, the sense that the way he said giorni, he said it giorni like a j, which makes him sound a bit like a Florentine speaker. But then a couple of times, the way he pronounced 2 single words sounded Neapolitan, and I'll tell you exactly which ones they are. And then occasionally his intonation swaps to Northern, sometimes, occasionally. So it's a mix, a bit like my English, to be honest, because my English, I imagine you can still tell, you can tell I'm not native, of course, but you can also tell that I picked it up in the UK. But when it comes to which area of the UK, thing is that I spent time all over the place. Now, he has never been to Italy, which is once again mind-blowing that he reached to this level. He must have listened to a lot of TV, Italian TV, but he played football, so he probably watches like football commentators, which can be from different areas, and then he probably picked up like one word from one person, one word for the other. I do believe that most of his listening must have come from TV or cable TV. I could be wrong, but it sounds very standard, somewhat northern sometimes, somewhat Tuscan other times. But then he has, like, when he chose now buono instead of bene. Standard would have wanted bene in this position, but people in Naples will have said buono in that specific area where he did it. And then another thing, I think he did a sh sound at one point that sounded a bit southern. Let me listen to it again, because this is fast. I wasn't even planning on doing this kind of analysis. And of course, if someone made an analysis like that for me, they could probably find like 37 things that I mispronounced in English, regardless of the fact that I spent quite a few years in the UK. So this is why I'm impressed. This guy has a talent.
In inglese non capisco.
Capisco, exactly. Non capisco. That sounds Neapolitan. It should be non capisco. But he may have heard someone from that area say it that way, and so he repeated it. I do believe that he must have a really good ear. He must have a really good ear. Musical ear, in fact. And what happens is that if you take him, what's his name again? John, did he say? John. So John, if you go, you can just pick it. Like if you want to sound like someone from Milan, you'd relocate John to Milan for a month. This guy will sound like 100% native. If you move him to Tuscany, Florence, he'll sound like a Florentine. If you move him to Sicily, start speaking Sicilian. If you move him to Naples, because I think he has that kind of ear. Very, very good Italian. Very, very good. Let me listen to it a little more, and then we'll check another language of his.
E quello che vogliamo sapere è, dopo 7 giorni o 30 giorni, come l'hai fatto? Come sei riuscito a parlare così buono
Così bene.
nella tua target, la tua lingua target, diciamo.
Yeah, how would I say, diciamo, I love diciamo. How would I say lingua target in Italian, target language? Lingua... I know that some Italians in the comments will say it, but right now I understand why you're struggling finding that, because honestly, as a native speaker, target language in la lingua... How the heck do you say target language in it? Nella lingua... Of course you can say nella lingua che vuoi imparare, la lingua, the language you want to learn, but is there a way to say target language? Lingua... I gotta Google it. Target language in Italian. How do you say it? Let me see. Lingua d'arrivo. No, we don't say that. Absolutely not. Let me see here. Lingua di destinazione. Absolutely not. Lingua di destinazione. We do not say that. Oh gosh. This is you broke Italian. You just broke the Italian language, John. Target language, yeah. I'm gonna spend all evening like this, so you might want to click away because I'm gonna continue. I need to know. Lingua di destinazione. They keep saying lingua di destinazione. I've never heard that in my entire life. So, it doesn't exist, I guess, unless you guys know, because I can't think of it. American polyglot trolls women. Let's go.
Salut les gars, aujourd'hui nous sommes à Paris, on va poser des questions en français, ce qu'ils pensent des États-Unis et les Américains. Let's go.
Ah, that's good. But I could be friends with this guy.
Français? Oui, est-ce que je peux poser des questions On a une chaîne de l'États-Unis en général.
C'est quoi la chaîne?
Goluremi Languages.
C'est quoi la
Tu parles
chaîne?
en français?
Oui.
Ah, vas-y.
Ok. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de les Américains? En général.
En
En général.
bruyant.
Bruyant?
Oui.
Ça veut dire quoi exactement?
Ils parlent trop fort et rigolent trop fort. Ils sont bruyants.
Bruyant, ah oui, noisy, yeah, loud.
Oui.
Oui, c'est ça. Ok, d'accord, tu es...
Ok, d'accord. Je pense qu'il parle bien. En fait, I think he speaks better than me, to be honest. Je parle français aussi, mais je ne parle pas bien. Je pense que... Je ne suis pas français, donc si vous êtes français, maintenant, je voudrais savoir qu'est-ce que vous pensez de son français, parce que je pense que la prononciation est bon. Ouais, je pense qu'il parle bien.
Tu y étais allé?
Non.
Non.
C'est juste quand ils viennent sur Paris, ils sont bruyants.
Ok.
En tant que peuple ou que de pays?
Peuple et pays.
Et aussi, il peut comprendre les Parisiens, les gens qui parlent français. Okay, so this is great. Like even if someone like is like, well, I'm French and actually I can tell he's not French. I don't know. He sounds fantastic to me. But regardless, it's real. Like we're not trying to figure out whether he is perfect 100% on everything. We're trying to figure out, is this a real deal where he is actually a multilingual individual? And up to this point, his Italian is superb. His French, he can walk around Paris and just interview people. If this was one of those fake polyglots, they would never do this. Those Muppets.
I guess I'll start in Spanish. Hola a todos, bienvenidos a nuestro nuevo video. En este podcast, no es un podcast, es un video podcast, no lo sé. Tenemos el honor, el mismísimo Wouter Cordovener. ¿Cómo se pronuncia tu nombre exactamente?
Sí, es mi nombre, sí. Soy Walter.
Cordovener.
Cordovener, sí, está bien.
Ok, bueno, muy bien. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Quién eres? ¿Cómo es posible hablar tantos idiomas? Y bueno, cuéntanos un poquito de ti.
La primera cosa que quiero decir es como...
So he interacts very effortlessly, and I really appreciate that. I wish he spoke Mandarin, because that I could double check more, and I wish he spoke Japanese, but then again, Goluremi languages, you're getting a... Let me switch to my actual... There we go. Let me switch to my second channel, which is the language one. I'm going to subscribe to you, give you a like. And yeah, Goluremi languages. Legit, this is a polyglot. A real one, not a fake one. What other videos have you got? It's kind of funny that he has these videos that are pretty much very similar to what Xiaoma does. So you know how Xiaoma does like white guys impresses Chinese shocks, and then he's like black American surprises strangers, black American impresses women. So he's doing the same thing that Xiaoma does, but black version. And I mean, black American shocks Italian in New York. I mean, we do it. So if Xiaoma can do white guy impresses Italians, he can do black guys impresses Italians. I have no problems with it. At the end of the day, it's not my favorite type of titles, I'll be honest with you, because honestly, white, black, Asian, who cares? It's like, whatever. But, you know, I'm inoffendable anyways, so I don't particularly care about that. But I do appreciate, I think it's fine. It's totally fine. I don't care. If it gets you the clicks, mate, get those clicks. At the end of the day, I appreciate that you put time and effort into learning my language and bringing it to a really, really good level. So anytime you want to maybe come over to the channel, let me talk to you and let's talk about how you picked up Italian, and it'd be great to do that. But up to this point, Goluremi Languages, thank you very much for watching, number ones.